do athletes like ever scare you? Like I know for fans, like when I first saw Jimmy, because I went to training camp last year and I first saw him, like I was kind of starstruck for a second. I was like, whoa, like this guy's good looking in person,
it's Jimmy.
too. I was like, wow, it's Jimmy. Like, and he signed my shirt and he was like looking at me and I was like, whoa, like he handed me the Sharpie. Like I was shocked. How do you like not have that as a journalist? Is it because you're like when you first started, did you have that?
Yes, absolutely. I had it. Absolutely. Yeah. So, okay. Like in 2008, I was 20 and I started doing a blog with my dad and I was trying to get into journalism. I was still in school and it was the summer. I was still a huge Warrior fan. I was still a kid. And my dad was Monte Ellis had just gotten this huge contract. It was like a month before he tore his ankle apart in that moped accident, if you remember that. But
yeah,
at this point, he was the man. He had been playing well. He was like 24, and he just got cashed out with like a $25 million contract or whatever it was. So he was going to have a press conference at the Warriors practice facility, and I was in town. I was not at school, and my dad said, "You want to come?" And I said, "Absolutely." So the Warriors are so nice. Their PR director is this guy named Raymond Ritter, who has been letting me come to their stuff since I was a little kid. And he's like, "Hey, Grant, if you want to ask a question, stand right there, ask a question." I was like, "Oh my God."
I'd be way too scared.
Me too. So I just stood there and I didn't ask a question. And I blew it. Like the whole thing ended. And they came up to me and Raymond was like, "What happened? What happened?" I was like, I froze. So that was 2008. 2010, I graduated from UCLA. I had an internship with KTVU, Marky Banez, Joe Fonzie. Yeah. It's like the most legit TV station in the Bay. I grew up watching them. So I had an internship and I was at the big game in 2010. It was Andrew Luck against Cal. It was the game that Andrew Luck trucked that dude in the second. I don't know if you remember that, but he was legendary. Killed him. And after the game, you run on the field with the cameraman and try to get an interview. And I was 22. And I got Andrew Luck first. I got him. He was like, it's like there's a scrum.
That 40-yard dash.
Yeah. Everyone, like the players are saying hello to each other and like the fans run on the field. It's crazy. But he's big. He's like 6'4". You can see him. I went over there and I felt so enterprising. And I went there with the cameraman, but I didn't realize that once I got him, like I had to do the interview, It was just me and the cameraman, and the cameraman, was behind the camera. I was like, "All right, man, go for it." So I had a one-on-one with Andrew Luck. And I said, "Andrew, how does it feel to beat Cal?" And he goes, "Great, man, great. Always feels great to beat Cal." And he stands there waiting for the next. It was like after the game, like on CBS, like after the national championship.
Like that Richard Sherman interview.
Right? Yeah, just like me and him. And so that was my first question was, how does it feel to beat Cal? He says, "Great. Always feels great to beat Cal." And I go, "Well, thanks a lot, Andrew." And he's like looking at me like, "Really? That okay?" And then he just walks on, and then he just gets pounced on by 8,000 media people. But I was terrible, man. And then somehow I got a press pass, and you're around athletes enough, you realize that if you're around athletes enough, you feel, I don't know what the word is, but you stop being starstruck and you start looking at them the way they look at you. Mm-hmm. Like they look at you like, do I have to be in the same room as you?
Yeah.
I'm famous and rich. You're not. I don't want to answer your questions. I don't want to be in the same room as you. So when you see someone look at you like that consistently day after day, you're like, well, I'm not rooting for you anymore because you're not rooting for me. It's just business now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's super interesting. Like how you look at athletes is just kind of like you guys both are like business partners in a way, right? It's like, I don't really want to be here, but I got to talk to you. And then you have a mutual understanding that's like, they don't want to be here, but it's my job to cover you. So I got to.
Like, I don't want to be here waiting for you, interviewing you while you're naked, man. Like, this is uncomfortable for both of us. Can we just do this quickly and get it over with? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm on deadline. You want to go home. Let's get it over with.
Yeah. I was just going to ask, like, when you first started covering the Niners in 2011, like you were saying, did athletes and coaches like ever just completely disrespect you because you were like 23? Like they were just like, "Who's this fool?" Like,
pretty much, yeah, absolutely, yes. Yeah, I remember specific stories. Maybe not, but there was one time. No, there was one time. Okay, there was one time. I was a freelancer before I started covering the Niners. I was writing an article once a week for CSN Bay Area, which is now NBC.
Yeah.
And they just gave me this column. They're like, write whatever opinion you want, cover any team you want. You can just get to write once a week and you get like $100 an article, which is nice coming out of college. So I went to a Warrior game, and it was like back when Keith Smart was the head coach, and I didn't understand basketball.
These are like the dark ages kind of, right? Yeah.
I didn't even understand rotations, man. Like, so they lose a game, and like it's the fourth quarter, and they're losing, and Monte Ellis isn't in, and it's like 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter, not in. 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, not, because like they saved their stars for the end, but I didn't really get that. So at the end, they lose the game, and at the end, I like raise my hand to get the mic, and I'm like, yeah, Keith, Monte Ellis was on the bench until 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Why was that? And he looks at me and he goes, because that's what I wanted to do. And I was like, oh, okay. And if I was a little bit older, I'd be like, that's not a legit answer, coach. Like, you got to explain that. But honestly, it wasn't really a legit question. So that was pretty funny. Keith Smart was like, so that's what I wanted to do. The next day, I think my dad ended up going to their practice, and Keith Smart came over to him and was like, hey, I like your son. He's precocious. He asks good questions. But yeah, you don't like him.
I think you caused a soundbite for every radio station in the Bay Area. Like if you just said that emphatically, like,
yeah,
it's all over. So there you go. Yeah. But like this is a question like me and like a couple of my friends and like my brother have talked about. It's just like, if Grant is like not a fan of the team, how does he like get his passion to just scream about them for days? Like, I feel like to be passionate about the Niners, don't you have to like really be invested in some aspect of it?
I do feel invested in the Niners because I've followed them my whole life. I mean, it's I used to be a fan. I've followed them my whole life. I know their history as well as I know any history. So it means something to me. I want them to be good. When they're bad, I don't take it personally. It doesn't ruin my day. In fact, I find ways to really enjoy it. But I want them to be good. I try to help them. I made myself honorary quality control. I give them everything I've got. They pick and choose what they listen to. But honestly, I think if I like got hired by the New York Post tomorrow and they say, cover Robert Saleh and the Jets the way you covered the Niners, I wouldn't know the Jets' history as well, but I could give the same amount of passion and attention to detail that I do for the Niners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. For sure. I mean, because you've just been like surrounded by it your whole life, I guess, and you're just.
Yeah, I mean, my dad covered it. My dad wrote a book on Bill Walsh. I feel it's almost like I'm almost part of the fabric of the history of the franchise. Mm-hmm. Not to be, but I feel like a little bit.
I think
like
now you are. Absolutely. I think now you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think now that you've like kind of created your own niche for yourself, like within the franchise, right? Like I legit, like I do think they listen to you, like especially like the quality control meetings. Like you would literally call out a play. You'd be like, hand the ball off to Juszczyk. Literally the game after, they hand the ball off to Juszczyk like 2 times. I'm like, dude, they're listening.
Really? Yeah, I say something like, if you guys are like forgetting about your highly paid fullback who's terrific, give him more touches. Boom. Yeah. Say, oh yeah, Grant's right. Like, is there no one in the organization reminding Kyle? Come on, this is some basics. This is some obvious stuff.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan actually went to my high school. So
no way. What high school is that?
Yeah, Saratoga.
Saratoga. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So he went there, and actually during the summer, like Jimmy and Kittle and McKinnon, your favorite Jet McKinnon, they were all practicing like on the high school field, and like all my friends
that's tight.
Like, come through, and I was like, nah, I've already seen them in training camp. It's all good.
Saratoga, is that in Mountain View?
No, so it's like right near Cupertino, so it's like right at the edge, and so yeah.
Are there like pictures of Kyle Shanahan, or
what I've heard? A lot of it is stories. So a lot of it is like everyone was like, "Oh, Shanny was the quarterback of the JV team when he was a sophomore, and Mike won the Super Bowl, and then they left Colorado before Kyle was going to take over the team."
Got it.
I was so sad. I was like, I want to see Shanny take over the team.
I see.
Win us the championship. But,
he was the quarterback, huh?
He was a quarterback. I'm telling you, when you kept saying that college like he wanted to be a quarterback, like he was a quarterback in high school. So
maybe he could be the quarterback of the Niners this year.
Maybe. Why not? It's cheap solution, right?
He knows the offense.